The mystic ascent. One who wishes to attain what he desires from God should concentrate on a particular divine name. One must concentrate on the name associated with the thing that he needs. When a person prays, he must concentrate and ascend from Sapphira to Sapphira, from desire to desire. He must continue in this manner until in his heart he reaches the source of the highest will, which is called the infinite Ein Sof. Joseph G. Catella. What is in a name? A lot. Your name is the key to your identity. If I know your name, I can make contact with you. If I know a name of God or the name of a part of God, I can make contact with God or with the part of God. As we explore the 10 divine names that unlock the power of the Sephiroth, bear in mind that in the ancient world, a name was more than a label. It often indicated a person's character. When someone's character was transformed, he was given a new name, thus a turning point in their lives. Abram's name, which meant the father is exalted, was changed to Abraham, which meant the father of multitude. And Joseph's name, which meant supplanter, was changed to Israel. He strives with God. The names of God are also more than mere labels. Each one reflects a specific aspect of God's multifaceted character. More than that, each divine name concentrates on singular facet of God's power. And when you properly call upon that name, God releases the particular concentration of energy that is channeled through the corresponding Sapphira. The divine names as keys to entering the gates of light. 13th century Kabbalist Joseph G. Catella unveils the mystical application of God's name in his classic work, Shara Ora, Gates of Light, a work Luria later called the key to the mystical teachings. G. Catella was a friend and colleague of Moses de Leon, the reputed author of the Zohar. Jikatilla himself was an influential Kabbalist and liturgical poet who gained a reputation as one who could work miracles. In his introduction to Gates of Light, Jikatilla explains that each of God's names has a unique function and that each one is like a key for all of one's needs, no matter what they are. 18th century Kabbalist Moses Luzzatto echoes this theme. He affirms that God has distinct names that are connected with each Sapphira and says that when a particular name of God is uttered and used to call upon him, it results in the emanation of an influence associated with that name. The Kabbalists who accessed the power of God's name treated their work as an exact science. In order for an equation to work, we need to plug in the correct components. In the same way, these Kabbalists knew that in order to get the results we want from our prayers and meditations, we have to plug into the correct name of God. For this reason, Jikatilla advises us to become expert in the purpose of each divine name so that when we need to request something from God, we can concentrate on the name designated to handle that question. How do we become experts in the purpose of each name of God? Gicatella says we first have to understand the meaning of each name as revealed in the scriptures. He says that is what God promised in Psalms 91. I will keep him safe, for he knows my name. When he calls on me, I will answer. The verse does not promise safety by merely mentioning his name, writes Gicatella, but by knowing his name. Kabbalists believe that the names of God reveal the hidden meaning in Scripture. They relate each name of God in the Bible to a different Sapphira, And whenever a name of God is used in a certain verse or scripture, they read that verse as a story about one of the Sephirah. Gicatella uses this type of analysis in Gates of Light. We will explore the mysteries of the divine names, including some of Gicatella's insight into the significance and purpose of each name. Gicatella examines the names of God corresponding to the Sephirah in ascending order, starting with the last Sephirah, Malkhut, and moving to the first, Keter. He does not explain why we take this approach, but Moshe Idel, in his introduction to Gates of Lights, concludes that it is because Gicatella advocated a mystical ascent or return through the Sephirah. Malkhut. Our ascent up the tree of life begins with the lowest Sephirah, Malkhut. The name of God associated with Malkhut is Adonai. Adonai is the plural form of Adon, Lord, which was used in ordinary speech as a title of respect when addressing a superior. When applied to God, Adonai is the title of honor that denotes God's absolute lordship. Although Adonai literally means my lords, it is translated as Lord. Gicatella says that Adonai is the name of God that is closest to all created things. Adonai is the great provider of creation, who governs all creatures, gives life and death, bequeaths and enriches, brings lows and exalts, makes sick and heals. He also says that the wise draw their wisdom from Adonai.